have dropped my worry, somewhere to go, something to do, but I don't need to hurry again. Happiness is here and now. I have dropped my worries, nowhere to go, nothing to do, no longer in a hurry. Happiness is here and now. I have dropped my worry, somewhere to go, something to do, but I don't need to hurry. Okay, let me see if the panel they are here. Okay, one more song. Okay, simple thing. You sing well yesterday, huh? Simple thing. Simple thing. A minor. Simple thing. A minor. Okay. Go for it. I get my joy from the simple things coming from the earth. I get my joy from the sun that shines and the water speaks to me. Listen to the wind and listen to the water. Hear what they say. Singing hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey. Singing hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey. One more time, come. I get my joy from the simple things coming from the earth. I get my joy from the sun that shines and the water speaks to me. Listen to the wind and listen to the water. Hear what they say. Singing hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey. Singing hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey. Give them some flower. Thank you, children. And now we go back to our seat and sit beautifully. Okay, we invite the brother and sister to come up for the question and answer. Con mời quý thầy cô trong panel lên đây để mình có buổi vấn đáp. So we invite the brother and sister to come up for the question and answers. So cool. Oh my gosh.
So, dear respected Thai, dear Sangha, Happy New Year! Happy New Year 2024. And we are very happy to see you all still here for today, for the last day of the winter retreat. So first, we would like to invite you to sit upright and relax. And then we will listen to three sound the bells. So, dear respected Thai, dear Sangha, first of all, we will introduce our name. But I just want to share with you one thing that, according to the New Year, Lunar New Year for the Vietnamese, the first day of New Year Day, we do not do anything. If we do something, you will do for whole year. So we think that today, the first day, you give question and answer, then we will give you the answer for the whole year. And you have the question for the whole years. I hope that is not. It's luckily this is not the Lunar New Year. That's the good news, the first good news for you. For the first New Year Day. And I hope that for the whole year 2024, you will be a lot of good news to you and a lot of happiness and peacefulness. So now I would like to introduce my name. My name is Sister Hoa Ngim, means adornment by flower. And the people call me Sister Flower. It's easy for you to remember. On my right-hand side, Sister Bat Ngim. Bat is mean hundred, adornment by hundreds of times of goodness. But I'm joking. But also another name is means cypress. Well, cypress tree is solid, adornment by solidity is the other meaning of my teacher. And my left-hand side, very far from there, is Brother Tần Chú. Here, the brother and sister call him with Brother G3, mean the sky of adornment, dwelling purity. And next to me is Brother Emptiness, who live here from beginning of Blue Cliff Monastery. And so now we would like to invite all of you to give question. The question is related to your daily life, to your difficulty, your suffering, your happiness, or also the question about the practice. You still have question, you not really understand completely the practice. from the last few days my brother and sister share in the Dhamma talk. Also, the practice you've been practicing for many years, but you stuck in something in your practice. So here is a chance for you. It please the time. We have only 1.5 hours for your question and answer. First of all, we would like to priority to our children. They can come up and give the question. So here, you can sit here and the microphone. So, and my brother and sister, they will share the answer. Who would like to volunteer first? And the good question is not the long question. It's not the long. And also the people understand what you ask about, yeah? Thank you very much. So before each question, we will listen to one sound of the bell. And if you would like to follow after him, and the other one can come up, if you can come up and sit here on the queue line, and then we have more time for answer.
So, dear Thai, dear brothers and sisters, dear Sangha, in my school, there is this one person who sits at my table, and then every time I look at them or say something to them, they give me this look. And then I don't really know how to respond, because throughout the day I'm so nice to them, but then every time they just go. So, yeah, I try to let it go because I know what I've done, but it just doesn't feel that good to always be looked at like this.
No, any brother and sister would like to share the question? Brother Chitri.
So dear Thai, dear Sangha, thank you for your question. When you explain the situation, the first thought that comes to my mind is be patient, because sometimes your friend is going through some difficult times, or there's uncertainty that he has inside himself, which he cannot express by his word. And sometimes you can sense when someone's going through a difficult times through their energy, their facial expressions, and also the eyes contact. So if you have enough capacity within yourself to forgive him or to embrace him, you can ask him a question: how are you today? Can I do something to help relieve your pain or suffering? Or even to go even deeper is that I don't know what I have done that have caused you to have a misunderstanding toward me, but I sense that the way you look at me, it might be something wrong. I can be your friend. I can be your support. If you have time and energy, we can go have some ice cream, a chit chat, or whatever. So, a person that have enough energy and compassion, there's always many ways to go up to someone and be their friend. Sure.
So, whenever, I try to ask them, could I help you? But every time I ask them that, they just kind of ignore me and give me an even harsher look because I tried to help them.
If that's the situation, then you can observe of what he likes in terms of snacks or food or even hobbies. Then in Chinese, the best way to move forward on any situation is through the stomach. So find what he likes to eat or what he likes to do, then go through that. It's kind of like a skillful way to maneuver to his heart. So if your words cannot penetrate in terms of his wall, because when someone suffers, they always put up a wall to know that they want to be safe in their comfort zone. They don't want to step out of their comfort zone. So you are stepping into his space that is making him feel uncomfortable. So if your words cannot penetrate him, then first is through what he likes, and then give him a written letter. And after you give him, don't say anything else, because it would take time for him to accept that letter and even to open it up. But if you have enough patience, then I think one day you can penetrate into his heart. And also, there's a time that he might be trouble in some way, or even being forced or being bullied by someone, but if you are there to support him when he's fell down, he may understand that your love and understanding and your support are great. There's no boundary, and it's boundless. So be patient with your friend and always have his back when he's needed. Yeah? And never be discouraged, because I know your heart is pure and your heart is strong. So be strong. Good luck.
So the next question. Children, don't be shy. We are very gentleness. So now if you, we are inviting. So after this question, we would like to invite Jean to come up.
How many trails are there?
You mean walking trails?
So, dear families, dear friend, thank you for asking. This is a very good question. To be mindful or not, as a monk and nun here, we live here, and how many trails do we have? So, thank you for reminding us. So we have many trails around. In the sister side, we have the trail to the forest, but there is many little trail. One big trail, and then the smaller trail. A few, 4 or 5 trail in around. And then on the brother side, we have also one big trail in the forest, but we also have another trail around here, by the pond. So there's many trails. And so we really enjoy walking, meditation. And we also, there is trail for the deer too. We have deer here, and there is trail for the deer. So trail for the human, and also trail for the deer. So thank you. So every time you have time, you can come and walk on that trail with us. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, children. You may assume that 50 travelers. 50 what? Okay, so now we would like to invite Jean to go up. If she's not ready, we would like to invite young adult. So now the children, you can go out to play, yeah, with your sister who take care. They don't want you to leave. If you want to stay, you can stay, but I hope you understand the question and the answer. We welcome. If you don't feel boring, it's okay. If you want to stay, yeah? But if you're not, you can stand up and join your palm and bow to the Sangha, and then you can leave to play, running, or they like question and answer. Okay, so now we invite the young adult. Are you ready? Many questions. A chance for you to ask the question, you know. And, oh. Okay.
Dear Thai, dear sisters and brothers, dear Sangha, the lineage name I received this morning in the mindfulness ceremony was Courage of the Source. And what I'm wondering is, in Buddhist philosophy, what is the source?
Now I think it turned to Brother Emptiness. You would like to?
So, dear Thai, dear friends, thank you for your question. I think first we need to see the original or the lineage name. We are of the Linchi tradition, and they transmit from China, first of all from India then to China, and then to Vietnam, continuously from one ancestor to the other. And when they transmit to Vietnam, there is a master, Liu Quang, and he's Vietnamese, but he received transmission from the Chinese master. So I think in the certificate, probably you see that you will be the 10th lineage of the Liu Quang school, and around the 44th generation of the Linchi school. So Master Liu Quang wrote a poem, and every word, each generation used one word. So for example, our teacher, he's a Zheng, and the next generation, the monks and nuns, Tam, we mean the heart, and the next generation is Nguyen, we mean the source. So that's why the next generation is Nguyen, we mean the source. So that's why when you receive a transmission from us now, because our teacher has passed away, so now when you receive a transmission of the 5 mindfulness training, you receive the name of source. There are many, so you have to go to the idea of the ancestor when he wrote the poem, what he mean by that. So I think there are many interpretations. I would say it means like the source of the spirituality, where it comes from many generations. Probably the more prominent is the Buddha Sakyamuni. And of course, he received transmission from somebody beforehand. And I think the Vajra Sutra, they say there are many generations of Buddha before, from the past, the future, the present, and they're all interconnected, I think, according to Thai. So that seems to me the meaning of the sources. Yeah. So the source of spirituality that exists in everybody, in nature, in all living being, and specifically we infuse the energy of the practice as a collective sangha when we transmit to you the energy of the mindfulness training. And of course, you already have the seeds, so all you need just reviving the seeds only. So it's interconnected from inside, from outside. So thank you. I want me to add something.
You can come up here and sit on the line, so you can queue. So when one person finishes and take turn.
Dear Thai, respected monastics, noble Sangha, I need your help. My brother found out that he's not my father's son, and he wants to tell my father, and this is causing a lot of suffering for my mother, and I am worried for my father's health. And my brother would like to tell him the truth, but my father is really old, and my mother didn't really know either that was not my father's son. So my question is, what do you advise, and how can I help them?
So, dear respected Thai Sangha, I think this is my turn. May I repeat the question? Your mother didn't know that your younger brother is not a real biology son of your father. But did she know that where he come from? He knew, and so your mother carried him, right? Because I don't understand clear this question.
So my father has, my brother is an older brother, and my mother had another boyfriend before my father, and then she met my father later, very close to, so then she now knows that my brother is the son of the previous boyfriend and not my father, because I took the DNA test.
So you want how to help your father to overcome this?
My father doesn't know yet, and my brother wants to tell him.
Okay. So dear friend, dear Sangha, I think this is a very good question for everyone, especially for the young adult, for the teenager. So this is the lesson for the teenager and the young adult for your relationship. Before I share the question, that's why the relationship is caused a lot of suffering in the future. When we have love, we just have with compassion love. It's not true love. You just satisfy the craving, the desire, sexual desire, and we didn't know it caused you the suffering to your children in the future. And it's come to the end, the result is like this. This is one of example. So before the relationship, and you need to be careful about how to relationship with the other gender and how to take care of your body and your mind. So you don't bring the suffering for yourself and for your future generation, for your continuation. For me, I think we practice. We coming here, we practice what? We practice of loving kindness and compassion. We love everyone. We don't think that you are my same blood family or same spiritual family. We practice to love and to embrace everyone. So how can we say with someone, even though we didn't know who is he or who is she? We who live with you for many years, since in childhood, and you think that the boy is my son. And now you find out that he is not my real son. Do you still continue to love him? Or you say, no, you are not my son, I don't love you anymore. So from the love, from before you know he is my son, that's his real love, true love, or what kind of love? So this love is have discrimination, love with condition. But the love of the parent is the love without condition. If your father really loves the son who is not my real son, even though he is not my real son, but I still love him. Even though I'm not live with you in the same house, same place for many years, I can still love you. So how can we say with someone who live with you many years, who share with you how you teach him how to grow up, how to love people, yeah? So for me, I think you give advice to your mother, to share with her, that if she can talk the truth, if your father can ability to bear the reality, truth, then speak out, talk the real. But somehow, some people, I don't want to criticize or judge. Some people, they have a lot of, how you say, jealous, selfish. They think they just love someone belong to them. It's my son, my children, my country, my religion, I love. But if you are not, then out of my sight. So that's why it creates a lot of suffering for the world, because you are not my children, you are not my people, you are not my country, you are not my religion, out of my sight. But the Buddhism embrace everyone. So that's why our teacher, we welcome to all religion. Even we are Buddhists, but we celebrate Christmas. Thai also taught about Christ, Jesus Christ, right? So this is the without condition love. Yeah. So if you share with your father, you need to very skillful mean to share with him. Yeah, even though he is not, we practice to love with someone we didn't know, but we still love, Or even enemy, we also forgive them. How come the person who lived with you for many years you cannot love? Right? So this is your, how you say, challenges to practice, to go home, to share with your father, your mother, and your brothers. Yeah. I think it doesn't matter is the same blood or not blood. If we live together for many years, love still there. Yeah. Okay, good luck. Thank you. So now we invite one more person to come up.
Dear teachers and community, my questions are about the fourth mindfulness training, loving speech and deep listening. So first is that after I took the training, I practiced not to speak when I'm angry, but it seems I still show up in my facial expression. And the other person seems to know immediately. So far, I'm not sure how to deal with it yet, so it would be great if I can get advice. And then also about speaking truthfully. So I think just like growing up, I was kind of taught to be honest to a point that I don't know how to set a boundary or like a healthy boundary. So sometimes when people ask questions, maybe some private question, my first reaction is just tell them and then realize that maybe I should not do that. So how do I practice speaking truthfully and also have the boundary? Thank you.
So now my turn to my brother and sister. I don't know, chị Thùy or sister bắt nghe một lời cho chị.
Dear Thầy, dear Sangha, thank you for your question. I think very good. I think there were two areas. About maybe when we angry we don't speak, but also our facial expression reveals something. I think sometimes I practice a lot also. We call the mouth yoga. Practice smiling. Like when we brush our teeth or we shave ourselves, we look in the mirror, and we practice smiling at ourselves very often, because those gestures, those muscles, you have to develop regularly. So your face won't be so stern or something. I think like Ezra would say about a teacher, sometimes he might be too serious about something. So I think, like Thầy mentioned, it starts with the mind. So if you are not able to be aware of the energy of anger or frustration, and you have to transform them, even though you refrain from speaking, it shows in the gesture, it shows in the facial expression. So to me, sometimes you can mention, I'm upset about something, and I wish not to continue the conversation. I think the person would understand, that rather than just being silent. Or I need to go for a walk. can I talk to you later or something like that, And I think usually when the person who receives the loving speech like that understand that there is a sticky situation, let's put it aside and then we talk about later. And during that time, you have a little bit of space for yourself. You can have meditation, compose yourself, and you can offer a more loving speech and so on. What was the second point? I think the boundary and okay, yeah. Yeah, I think to me the truth is very, very. One needs to be very skillful, because sometimes we cannot reveal the truth. I have a concrete situation during the war in Vietnam. We have a family member from both sides of the war. There's some from North Vietnam, from the guerrilla, and also from the South Vietnamese government. And my father has a plantation of tea, and some of my relatives are from the guerrilla. And the government was looking for them because they want to capture them. And because they are relatives, so they asked permission to hide in the plantation of my father. And the police come and ask, have you seen such, because they identify the leader and they want to capture. So my father say that, I don't know. So if he speak the truth, then it would harm the life of their relative. And because most of the family in Vietnam, we have family members from both sides of the conflict. So it kind of hard. We practice not taking side, but not directly involved in action. So this is the kind of truth that sometimes we have to hide for a good purpose. But there are some smaller truths, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. For example, somebody bake a cookie, cook for you, and maybe the meal is not to your liking, or the cookie turned out bad that time, and you just smile and say, it tastes good. So sometimes we call it white lies, But sometimes, like other situations, you might need to reveal the truth. About healthy boundary too, I think if somebody says something, I remember often I went to Europe and my other side of the family, and sometimes they talk badly about my teacher, our teacher. And sometimes we just have to say something briefly. You say, Master Tirthan is my teacher. So what you say, it hurt me because I respect him. So I will not continue conversation about that topics, and you remove yourself. So sometimes you have to say something to say the boundary, so people don't continue to criticize my teacher in front of me, kind of thing. So they understand we might have some different opinion, about this kind of thing. Thank you. I wonder, brother, sister, would like to add something?
I just want to ask one more thing. This I learned from my teacher about about the truth. In the past, I like speak directly in the sangha when I see something I don't feel happy, irritates me, and my teacher not very happy about this. And I said, I talk the truth. And then I learned from him, He said, the truth, you need to talk the right time and right place. Sometimes the truth, you need to take time for 1 year. Sometimes my teacher wants to teach one student of his student he needs to wait for a few months or 1 year to talk, to teach his disciple. And sometimes in the place, it's not for you to talk the truth. You know? Sometimes if not the place, if you talk the truth, it's not help. It's come back harm you. And you will get dangerous. And so this is I learned a lot from the teaching because in the past, I like to talk the truth. And then later on, I knew that I would hurt my sister, my brother a lot. So then my teacher said, your truth is not help people transformation. Your truth is make the people suffering. So this is not the truth. So the truth is benefits is to building. To building is not to destroy. So we need to be careful to talk about the truth. Yeah.
Yeah. Young friends, would you like to go out and play? No? Okay.
Thank you. I have a habit energy of reacting sometimes when I have a negative emotion, and instead of pausing and finding a better way. And I feel like it's like I have like a mini war, and it makes me think, is this what countries do? Like, do they react and go to war? And is there something similar we can learn as an individual and as a country to help save us?
So, dear family, thank you for your question. It's a beautiful question. For me also, I tend to react very quick, something that I don't like, especially, or some situation that I feel an urge to step in. So in our practice, we have many that this week you have learned, listening to the bell especially. So you can train that every day so that you can have a pause before reacting something and remind you to come back to your breathing. So we have many different kind of practice that you can use here. Whenever there is a like something say to you, like in a Dharma sharing that we have been done, whenever somebody share, we listen. So that training before the action is happen. So every day, it takes every day to do that. So each day, if you can adopt the practice of listening to the bell, for example, and then whenever you hear the bell, you stop. So that it become like a good habit. So every time you remember that, oh, somebody say something that is not according to my liking, oh, stop and smile. Just smile is a stop. So you can first physically stop first. In the physically, you can control it, but in your mind, sometimes it's very quick. So the practice here is for us to really come back to the basic practice, listening to the bell, come back to your breathing, and smile. I think the smile helped me a lot. When I see it with the awareness, I see that tension coming. The tension coming, you can feel in your body right away. The heat, your eyes, the expression on the face and your hand. When you get angry, you can feel in your hand. So if you see that already with mindfulness, with the light of mindfulness, you stop and smile, and that's a pause, and it's help you not to say or not. or if you have too much tension, it's too much angry in you and you cannot be in that situation. So take yourself out of that situation and do some walking and come back to the calmness first before you react. So that's some small thing that you can do every day to help your body build up that awareness of stopping. Thank you.
Dear Thai, brothers and sisters, dear Thai noble community, brothers and sisters, I'm looking for a little wisdom. A few days ago, prior to coming here, a surprise occurred to me in my attempt at right livelihood, doing some work for someone doing a good thing for a client, and we agreed on some terms. And at the conclusion of the work that I did a few days before coming here, the person who I trusted in my profession reneged on the agreement. And because I trusted their honesty, forthrightness and professionalism, we never reduced anything to a writing. It was a handshake kind of situation. I reacted with anger and said, I'll deal with this when I come back from retreat, after I have a chance to contemplate the practice of beginning anew. I wrote a peace treaty. I'm afraid, as I'm leaving this beautiful community where it would work, that in the outside world, presenting my point of view, the context from which I was reacting, and the seeds that were, the buttons that were pushed, that caused the reaction, may not resonate, and the person may simply say, I don't want to deal with this in this fashion. The answer is no. In those situations where you've made those good faith attempts and with open heart and open mind and as much truth as you can share without oversharing, is there a next step? Or do we just let it go, even though it is, in this instance, a considerable amount of time that I spent, and the work that I did will be used to make that, enrich that person financially?
So, dear Thai, dear Sangha, I guess it'll be very hard for me to really understand the whole situation, because living in the monastery, But you might scale how important this is. Will it affect your life, affect your family, or affect how hurt will you get if you don't go through with this? If it's something that is light and you can be so generous to let it go and learn from that experience, learn from the mistake, and move on so that next time you will deal with situation much more skillfulness and much more mindfulness, then let it go. But to a certain point that if you cannot or persuade or even go through with this in terms of your speech, your action, your loving speech, your understanding, then bring in much more authority to settle this. But you have to also scale this to a point that is he really something, a friend that you can really want to hurt? Or is something that you can go through this and make him way suffer? So I'm saying that depending on how much your heart can open up to receive his suffering, to receive his the way he has done to you, then you can help him and go through with the situations. But as I'm saying, first try as much as possible how can you approach it with this situation in a skillful way and not bring authority first. If it cannot and it's bring to a certain point that it's hurting your family, your life, everything like that, then bringing authority. But I'm saying that for yourself, the best thing is if you think you cannot have that capacity to go through this, write yourself a love letter. Remind yourself that you have been here for a couple of days. You have been watering a lot of good seeds in you, a lot of good mindfulness, concentrating insight. Then have that letter inside your pocket and read it to yourself before you go to that person, so that you know that even though the Sangha is not here, the energy is not here, but in your pocket there is a guidance, a friend, a tool to help you to come back to yourself. Or even in your car, have like a little sticker or something. Come back to yourself. Breathe. Life is much more important. This is the new year. We have 365 new days to write yourself a whole new book. Write something meaningful. Write something lovingly. Write something joyful. So that keep on reminding yourself that thing is uncertainty. Thing is impermanent. It's much more important than what is coming next or what that person will do. So, from my perspective, I like to suggest that keep on practicing, keep on watering that good seed in you, and make your heart like a river. If your river is vast enough, doesn't matter how much salt you put in that river, the river will not be salted and cannot drink. So I know that outside, money and material and need a certain point for us to survive. But imagine right now if you're laying in your sick bed, is that really important? You only have one day to live. Is that really important? So in your life, while you work, but make sure you practice as well. So that practice and work in your life will be balanced. So that one day if you were to get ill and sick, your heart will be content that you have been living a life of happiness and joyful. So that is the only thing that I can think of to give you an advice as someone living in a monastery. But maybe there are friends that you trust more, your colleague, or even someone that you really, really trust and have more insight in this matter. Maybe you can also ask him for help so that you're not alone. Because I think you're not alone. In this world, you have your wife, your family, your friends. That is much more important. So, good luck. Thank you.
dear teachers. I really like to offer help to people to fix them. It's kind of related to the first question that was asked today. And I found that many times it interferes with my ability to really listen compassionately to people and see really what they need in this moment. I start giving them ideas and practices and solutions. And even in this retreat, when friends told me they had a hard time sleeping, I gave them lots of ideas, but I feel like I didn't fully really listen to them. And then I didn't sleep well, and I realized the last thing I want is to get ideas and advice. So that's my question, is how can I increase my ability to really listen compassionately without giving any advice and ideas and practices and stories? Thank you.
So, dear Thai Sangha, I didn't hear all the specific thing you asked, but in general, I think we practice mindfulness and we practice watering the seed of joy and happiness in every moment, in every small incident in life. When you have the sum of a lot of joy and happiness, then you can easily accept some challenging situation or some difficult situation or difficult people. If we don't have enough source of inner joy and inner happiness, then it's hard to encounter different people, different situation, and stay calm and stay compassionate. So I think we're surrounded by wise mind, Sangha member, practitioner, co-practitioner, that water a lot of good seed in each of us. So that way we have a stability, we have a certain bigger heart, so we can accept difficulty, conflict situation. Without that sense of stability, it's hard to go and do action or do things, because your button is still very sore, and people can easily touch your button, and then you would react, and then you would not be calm enough, so you will not help the situation. So we have to have a balance between action, what we help, and also have a certain insight. I remember when I was a lay friend, we practiced with this American nun. She from the Zen tradition, Japanese Zen tradition, and she was the leader. She go to different sangha, and she was very good with counseling people. So they asked her to counsel inmates from a different prison. And she went to the first one, and it was very successful. So they invite her to go to more prison, more inmates. And for a while, she was neglecting the work she do with the regular sangha, regular group. And at some point, it turned to be too much for her to handle, because of people suffering, the counseling and everything. So after a while, she refused to go to the inmate prison, and she come back to the sangha, and she shared with us. She said that I put myself in a very difficult situation when I didn't have enough calm, composure and stability in practice. So later on, she balanced herself with like maybe 2 sangha and 1 prison sangha. So at least she nourished the good seeds of herself at the same time when she practiced helping other people. I hope that answered the question.
Dear Thai, dear monastics, dear Sangha, I would like your advice on how to proceed with a situation. During the pandemic, a friend and I, we were friends for a very long time. And my understanding of what happened is that the suffering in her was very much, and the suffering in me was very much. So we couldn't communicate, and I didn't know how to talk to her about how I was feeling. And so the only solution I had at the time was to distance myself from her and end the friendship. And since I have had time to sit and think and feel, I really want to honor her and make apologies for not knowing how to handle the situation better. But I have fear about opening the door again because there were a lot of issues in our friendship that I see more now, and so I also don't know how to tell her I'm sorry for how I was and for the hurt I caused, but that I don't know if I want to continue with a friendship. So it would be me reaching out to her after not speaking to each other for over a year to tell her, I'm sorry, but I don't want to be your friend anymore. And so that also feels like it might cause her harm again. So that is my situation.
So, dear family, thank you for sharing with us. Sitting here, I'm just aware that the sun is very beautiful and outside is very nice. And looking down, everybody smiling. So we we all in our life, we encounter some situation like that. So myself also, I also had in the past year, and this just past year that I also encountered some difficulty with loved one, and it was very at the beginning because unskillful speech that we just in that moment that we caused the relationship is broken. So yeah, it took me about 6 months to reflect and to come and practice in myself about that hurt, because it's both sides. It's not just only one side that is hurting ourselves, but both sides in that situation of unskillfulness of the both sides. So it took me around 6 months, and I didn't communicate or talk to that person, but every day in my practice, when I do sitting, I bring that person in my mind and send all the energy, that compassionate energy that I have toward that person. And there is some space. And I remember there's many beautiful moments that we are together. And I create that in space inside of me so that I remember of gratitude to that person. So it's softened inside of myself. Just the one situation, but the bigger picture is more beautiful and what is important in our relationship. So in October, I wrote a letter to that person with all my apology. So that person didn't respond, but at least there is a change in that person, as I know, because we lower ourselves down. There's sometimes where we have like a self, complexes, and we think that we're right, and we never apologize, but we all have shortcoming and mistake. But when we already say sorry. It doesn't have to be with that person, but inside of us there's lightness, there's space. So important that you work within yourself, and when you are clear and calm and at peace with that situation, accepting that I did wrong, and then you apologize. So that is very sincerely from your heart, and slowly through writing a letter. If you cannot confront, you can write a letter, you can send a gift, and I did send a gift to that person. So it's already on my part, and we cannot control that person, how they feel, how they think, how they accept it or not. But in us, we have to start in us if we accept that or not, and we feel at peace with that situation or not. So it doesn't have to be continue to be friend in that term. We continue to be friend in that person in ourselves. And slowly that person will feel your love and will feel your apology and truly what your action is. So I hope that you can work in yourself and smile to that mistake. It's okay. It's okay to have mistake and to give ourselves love and support in that way. So I hope that helps. Yeah, thank you.
So, dear Sangha, this is the last question, because I think it's nearly time. Thank you. The children so good.
Dear Thai, dear teachers, dear Sangha, this might be a good question to end on. The other day I was at the other evening we had the Beginning Anew session. It was very powerful and a very useful set of processes for healing relationships. It was demonstrated beautifully by some very generous Sangha members. And I was thinking about my own relationships and how I could begin anew, but I don't have a clue how to do this with somebody who is not part of the community. Using those techniques with somebody who doesn't know about engaged Buddhism, doesn't care about engaged Buddhism, does not understand the vocabulary of engaged Buddhism. How do I bridge between where I am and where they are in a way that's fruitful? Thank you.
So, dear Thai, dear Sangha, thank you for your question. What you learn here at the retreat is for yourself to self-heal any your inner child, any suffering that you have. But once you get home, it's not just about what you learn here that cannot be helpful when you get home. You can still continue to practice. We show you how to eat in mindfulness, walk in mindfulness, sit in mindfulness. But when you get home, you can use different means to help you being aware. When you wake up in the morning, start yourself a small routine. After you use your bathroom, do a little sitting or make you a cup of coffee, do whatever to nourish that energy that you've been learning here. And not just like where you live, but once you get in your car at the stop sign, take a few breaths. When you walk from your car to your workplace, do a couple of steps. So every day, within the 24 hours, nourish yourself whatever you can, so that your energy of mindfulness, concentration, and insight can mature. Because as you know, our habit energy is very strong. We've been living up until now so much habit energy that we have accumulated over time. But mindfulness, concentration, insight is a new walking path in the forest. You have to keep on walking on that path so that it can create a new trail, a new neural pathway in your mind, your heart, your body, so that when something comes up, you don't react, but you respond. You respond in a new whole way, which is loving kindness, understanding, and peacefulness. So when you try to help your family and friends that they don't know anything about the practice, use skillful means through the way you talked. there's many ways you can express your love and your support by not using Buddhist terms. Through cooking, through holding hands, through buying gifts, through writing love. Any support that you give them, that is the expression of love and understanding and support. And once you know that it is time for you to express in a way, in a constructive way of trying to build a new bond, speak from your heart. And don't say anything about what you learned here. You say, I know you've been going through a difficult time. I'm here for you. Can I do anything to help you overcome this? That's not Buddhist term. It's a daily life term that you can speak to them. You can speak to your children and say, hey, are you hungry? Can I cook you something? That is love. And that's not Buddhist term. So when you're trying to help your family, there's so many ways that you can do it. But the first thing is, as we say, that to start with yourself first. Nurse yourself, practice within yourself so that you have enough capacity to be ready for the next journey. And so what I said, start slowly, start small, but it will be beneficial when you're trying to help your family and friends. And then don't be afraid. If you have time and energy, look around where you live. Is there a Sangha for you to come and practice? Because the energy of a Sangha can also support you in difficult time. And if you live close to us, come up sometime for lunch on a Sunday, walk with us, eat with us. Small thing like that can also revive yourself, rejuvenate yourself when it's difficult in your life. And also, within a weekday when you work and you don't have enough time, give yourself a day on a weekend to drive somewhere, to read a book, to do something that you really liked, to rejuvenate yourself, to refresh yourself, so that you can start again the next week. And small things like that will contribute to when you want to help your family and friend, because your heart, your body, mind are calm. Right? It's like a lake. When you throw a pebble in, a lot of ripples start to, but then over time, the lake will be calm again. So it's the same thing. When you're calm and when your family or your friends said something that might hurt you, but if your lake is calm enough, it can reflect the true nature of yourself to them, and they can feel it. But yeah, you're not alone. We have us around here. And also YouTube. A lot of us, we put streams, Dhamma talks on YouTube. So when you need something to listen to, like listen back again, put a Blue Cliff Monastery YouTube online. Prabhupada Khoi, Prabhupada Black, Prabhupada Kong, any teachers that or any brother or sister that you feel that they have nourished you, listen to it again. Or even you go to Barnes & Noble or anywhere that ties book, read into it. Nourish yourself, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much what Brother Titui shared. I just asked a little bit about more easily concrete for you to understand. For example, like watering flower, you don't need, I have watering flower you are a very good cook. So we don't need to say that, we just say thank you, my darling, you are a good cook today. That's a watering flower. And beginning anew to solve the problem, we don't need to sit opposite and with a candle, a very serious atmosphere, a bell. You can have instant noodle and beginning anew. In the past, I have been instant noodle with my younger sister, and after that, we begin anew. And we said, oh, last time you make me not very happy, but we accept it easily. So this is the skillful means of the bring home the practice in the monastery. That is only the form for you to realize. But if you are the owner of your family, you can organize the being in the family, but not say, today is being my children. And the children, when they hear you say being or begin anew, they don't want to come. Because they think that their mother has something to say with them. So we need to make it something very joyful and easily and closer in the daily life. Yeah. So thank you very much for on your question today, this morning. And thank you, brother and sister, who share the answer. It's very concrete and helpful and beneficial for everyone. And we need to very give flower to the children. The first time they sit from question and answer from beginning to the end. Thank you very much. And we wish you that New Year 2024, a lot of health, happiness, peacefulness, and calmness, and forgiveness. Thank you very much. And now we listen to three sound the bell. And then after that, I don't know the organizing team, do they have any announcement? But after that, we will listen to small sound the bell. We stand up and we bow each other, and then we bow to the Buddha, and then we say goodbye. Maybe we sing a song goodbye now. No coming, no going. This is very popular.
Dear sister, we have a closing circle, so thank you.
Really? Okay,
yes,
sorry.
Yes, yes.
I didn't know the organizing team.
Just unfold your legs and massage your knee, ankles.